and humidity that we've been building for the past several weeks here in July, and now it's finally being used. This cold front slowly moving south. This is going to be something that we're going to be dealing with day after day from now all the way through Sunday. Right now we've got several severe thunderstorm warnings in southwestern Missouri, into northwest Arkansas, and into northeastern Oklahoma. A lot of these cells are of course putting down a lot of rain really quickly, but they also have some gusty winds. That's one thing we've been watching out for with a lot of these summertime storms. They usually have a lot of gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour, but we've got to zoom in really close. Let's talk about Benton County. That's where we have the storms right now. Washington County, you see the storms off in the distance in that northern sky, but all the rain is falling north into Benton County. Right over Bentonville, that's where we have our severe thunderstorm warning. Back west to Centerton, into Heifel, Gravette, north into Bella Vista as well. Right there, towards the Highlands Golf Course and right along I-49 with the new bypass. It is heavily raining right now in northwestern Benton County. More cells firing up towards the west, but a lot of heavy rain being put down in Gravette, coming right into Crystal Bridges and in Bella Vista. We also have a few more cells kind of detached that are coming into Bentonville. This is kind of the interchange there. We've got Pinnacle Hills and south into New Hope Road. Those storms now coming into the southwestern side of Rogers. Pea Ridge getting some heavy rain too. But this severe thunderstorm warning is mainly for gusty winds and maybe nickel-sized hail. A lot of the hail is actually larger up in the cloud, but some of it's melting as it gets lower. But you can expect some at least small hail with this storm. It's still growing up though on its southwest side. More cells firing up into the main cell, but a lot of heavy rain coming in to Bentonville, Bella Vista any moment from now. Bella Vista, especially from town from 71 back west. The heavy rain's already started. Then towards the Cooper Memorial Chapel, getting that heavy rain moving in, and then towards Tanyard Creek. Bentonville, rain just coming into our western side. This is near Kohler mountain biking path. This is coming right towards Crystal Bridges and downtown Bentonville. Heavy rain also coming into the Cave Springs exit once you head a little bit farther south towards Highway 412. Right now we are streaming live on our platforms on YouTube, Facebook, and of course 5 News online and our 5 News Plus app. You can get all those for free. We're going ahead and if you're on channel 5, you're going to see something coming up here in just a moment. But we are tracking severe strong thunderstorms right now in northwest Arkansas. In the River Valley, things are a lot quieter. Let's zoom out the map a little bit. The closer you are to the front, the more storm activity that you're going to get. This will continue for the rest of this evening. That front's going to move a little bit farther south over the next couple of days, and then eventually the River Valley is going to get some better chances for rain. But now it's more towards the north, closer where the front is. That front will be coming through Wichita and Joplin the next several hours, and right ahead of that front is where we get the strongest thunderstorms. And then what's going to happen is this front's going to just sit right over the state line, right with Arkansas and Oklahoma, and we're just going to have round after round of scattered strong storms. Still some sun the next couple days as well, but you got to look out for some of these thunderstorms too. I want to show you what it looks like outside with our camera network. This is live in Springdale, and you're looking towards the north and west. See how it gets really fuzzy there in the distance? That's a huge downpour coming right now into Bella Vista and Centerton, there towards Bentonville West High School and west to Gravette as well, just north of the airport. X-Nay is about here. You can see the heavy rain. It's just north of the runway. That's all moving eastbound, directly coming in towards downtown Bentonville. And another camera too. This is in Bentonville. The camera's going to shake a little bit. You see the trees blowing around a little bit. The wind's now picking up, and that rain's just off in the distance. You're kind of looking southwest, west-southwest with this view. So the storm's just kind of out of view. There's part of a building here, so we can't really turn it much more. But we've got heavy downpours coming in. The main severe storm's right here. And then back towards the west, we also have a few more downpours with these storms as they keep riding in from west to east. Another live look in Springdale, looking back towards the northwest. The only severe thunderstorm warning that we have right now is for Benton County. You go north into Missouri, they've got some more cells that are just south and west of Springfield, and then back west into northeast Oklahoma. They're right along 44 towards Miami. They have some more storms. But when you look west, look how 44 is developing more storms. These eventually will slowly move eastbound. Will they be able to hold the whole time? Not exactly sure. I think we've got some good heating right now, but later tonight they'll probably start to fall apart. So we're probably going to watch some of these cells make a good run at us, and then eventually a few may weaken. But we've got some good storms coming right now into Benton County. Here's another zoom in right now with that severe thunderstorm warning that includes Bentonville, Centerton, Bella Vista, Pea Ridge, Heifel, and Gravette, and then towards the Highlands Golf Course. That's where we have the heaviest rain right now coming there with some of the new development there right along the bypass I-49. The cell is going to continue to move eastbound. With the cell, we've got some gusty winds up to about 60 miles per hour in some places from Gravette. And in Bentonville, we're seeing the wind pick up just a little bit. So that could be something in the next couple 20 to 30 minutes. The hail core itself is just sitting west of I-49. Some of the maps aren't completely updated, but you know, I-49, of course, we've got that new bypass. So it's just on the Highlands Golf Course is about here. You go towards the west from that exit. You've got that hail that's right over Gravette. And this pocket is slowly moving eastbound, very, very slowly, but it is putting some wind out there in Benton County. But most of the hail is staying away from Bentonville at this time. Heavy rain is going to be coming into town and some gusty winds, but the hail core is back off towards the west right now. Here's a closer look with some of the wind and, of course, the rain. Right now we've got downpours in around Bentonville, but the main beast of the storm right now is right over the bypass there, I-49. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to zoom in just a little bit closer. Take a look at the cell where the hail is exactly falling just north and east of Gravette. So Centerton, we're getting it. Hiwassee, we're getting it too. There's Highlands Boulevard. You got some of the lakes there in Bella Vista back off towards the west. We've got heavy rain coming down and possibly some hail too. The hail core, most of it's on the west side there towards the Gravette Quarry and the Benton County Stone Quarry there too. There's the old Spanish Treasure Cave. I mean, you're kind of in that area where you've got some hills and some forest there just west of the Highlands Golf Course and the clubhouse. But if you're anywhere near Loch Lomond, the lake there just south of west of Scottsdale Golf Course, you're getting some of that heavy rain, of course, too. And that's all coming into Lake Windsor, Tanyard Creek, Pinion Creek Falls, Lake Ann, all those reservoirs and lakes that we have in Bella Vista are getting a good downpour right now. You head closer to Bentonville, we've got more of the downpours here and there. These are not severe per se. It's the storm back off towards the north and west. That's the one that's severe right at this time. Gravette getting some gusty winds, and north to Sulphur Springs. Right over Sulphur Springs is where we have some of the most activity. But that front's going to get closer and closer the next couple of days, and will continue to spark more storms. So not everyone's going to get a storm the next 4 days, but what's going to happen is we're going to have all these pop-ups here and there. So over the course of 4 days, most of us should at least get a downpour at some point. Right now, we're getting a downpour in Benton County, and I do think most of us in northwest Arkansas are going to get more rain than we're going to get here in the River Valley, just because the front is moving south, but eventually it's going to just park between, just south of Monet, north of Bella Vista. It's going to park right over the state line, right here where this white line is between Arkansas and Oklahoma. And as that happens, most of the storms will fire along the front and just barely south of the front. And so that means for us in the River Valley, it may be a little bit harder. Right now, we've got some downpours around Little Rock and Conway. We've been getting a couple little downpours in southern LaFleur County, but they're having a harder time kind of firing up. More storms back off to the north. The closer you live to that front, the more storms here you're going to get. So this is going to be something we deal with for the next couple of days. But right now, severe thunderstorm warning for Benton County, including Bentonville, Pea Ridge, Bella Vista, Sulphur Springs, Hiwassee, Gravette, Centerton, just north of the runway. Once you head north of the hotel they have on the north side, and you head towards some of the Walmart distribution centers, we got some good downpours. And then you hit towards Thaden Field, head north towards Bentonville Brewery. We're getting some of the good downpours. And then back west into Centerton is where the rain picks up there towards the Highlands Golf Course. Highlands Golf Course is where we have that highest chance for some hail right now. And they're over Lake Lomond there on the west side of Bella Vista. Sulphur Springs is about right here. That's where we're getting most of the hail. Gravette, we've had some hail here and there, especially in north and east side. Let us know if you guys get any pictures. You can try to make sure you comment below. We've got digital teams that are standing by. They'll be able to monitor the chat while we talk about the storms themselves. Let us know what you guys are seeing. You guys are the best eyes and ears, and we'll try to forward some of that to the National Weather Service as well. Speaking of heat, because we're fueling these thunderstorms off of the heat that we build up, we in fact just tied the record in Fayetteville at 100. 100 was the record today, and now we're sitting at 100. We could get warmer, but some of the clouds in Benton County may kind of throw off into Washington County, so it's going to be hard. We could get above 100, or we're just going to stay here at the tie. But what's next? We've got 4 more days of rain chances. These isolated downpours popping up, sometimes with gusty winds. Gusty winds, those are our primary threats coming out. We've had them in Paris, we've had them in Poto, we've had them in Spiro, and Roland. and those will be the highest threat as we go the next couple of days. But they're very isolated events like that. And I think the rainiest days, the best chance for storms will be Friday and Saturday. So I think the radar map looks a little bit active right now in Benton County, but expected to be more widespread later this week and into the weekend as we may pick up a couple inches of water. The highest threats will be anywhere from Washington County, from Fayetteville, Greenland, and West Fork, north and the rest of northwest Arkansas. Just a solid general chance for some storms throughout the River Valley the next couple of days, and even lower once you head back towards the south. Here's a closer look at that hail core too. We're going to kind of flip between a few things this afternoon. In a few minutes, we're going to be ready for our 5 News at 5, where we'll continue to track the severe storm that's in Benton County. Remember, we were there tracking the storms throughout the River Valley. We kept on for Poto, Roland, and Spiro when that wind really started to pick up and those power outages started to pick up. So we'll continue to monitor this situation depending on how strong those winds are gusting out. We're getting a couple reports. We're getting actually good reports. My digital team is talking to me. We have some reports of torrential rain right now in the Highlands Golf Course. Highlands Golf Course is right here, just off the interstate. You go west, you go to Sulphur Springs. Some of the lakes of Bella Vista, once you head just east of Highlands Golf Course, you've got Lake Windsor. You have a lot of the reservoirs around Bella Vista. That's where we're getting the heaviest rain and the bulk of this storm. It looks like we may have a quick downtrend in the latest scan as this cell continues to move eastbound. But a lot of this is raining out. This is just a torrential downpour, maybe some small hail up to about nickel size. Usually better damage is done closer to a quarter-sized piece of hail. I mean, you're kind of close enough. But a little bit of hail following with this storm, and also some gusty winds. Wide view, Fort Smith, Van Buren, we're doing okay. We're getting a lot of sun. We have noticed this little green thing. That's called an outflow boundary. Some of the storms back off towards the east, towards Little Rock, threw out some cooler air. That cooler air is coming into Logan County and even Johnson County. Johnson County, we watched our temperatures drop. They're about 30, 45 minutes ago, back down to some low 90s. That cooler air push is moving westbound, and as it does so, we'll watch to see if we get a few more pop-ups along this line. It's just sometimes hard to force them up, but we'll see. Otherwise, we've got that severe thunderstorm warning for Benton County. That, of course, continues for about another 20 minutes. But heavy rain coming down for Bentonville, Hiwassee, Gravette, Centerton, there in northern Benton County. Let's zoom in a little bit closer to northwest Arkansas. Let's talk about some of these towns that we've got. Where is it headed next? Well, a lot of these downpours are just kind of expanding across the county. The severe storms back off towards the west. They're over Highlands Golf Course. It may stay here for a while, for the next 20 minutes or so. But around the area, we've got more downpours. So in Rogers, we've got a good downpour that's coming in more towards the southwest side, towards the public library. Prairie Creek, there towards the marina. We may get a few cells for us. You head just north of the marina on 62 as you're going towards Garfield. We've got a good downpour for us, and in Pea Ridge. And now, for the heart of Rogers, we're going to get some of these scattered downpours here the next 20, 30 minutes or so as these cells slowly move from west to east. But the big one, the big kahuna, is back here off towards the west, and it's not really moving as much as more cells fire up on the west side and just kind of throw out some rain. Farther south into Springdale, most of the time we're probably going to be okay for a while. Most of these storms are just north of Highway 412 right now. As you head towards Lowell and Bethel Heights, we're probably going to get skimmed for a while. But for the time being in Springdale, we're in the clear, but more cells may try to fire up and slowly move south as that cold front moves south. Right now, this is mainly Benton County and mainly north of Highway 412. Silent Springs, we have some clouds. We've had a few sprinkles here and there. More cells as you head north on 59 towards Gentry and Decatur and Gravette. Farther south into Fayetteville, we're even tougher. I mean, we've got some serious sun still coming down in Fayetteville, helping us to warm up. Of course, we just tied that record. But if you live in Fayetteville and Springdale, you probably have a little bit longer to go with some of the drier weather. Downpours are just towards our north, and they're pretty much going directly from west to east. Now, of course, you got to look back even farther west. We're getting more cells that are west of Lake Tenkiller, right around the Tulsa area. Some of these are kind of fizzling out as they move eastbound. We'll just have to watch in Fayetteville and Springdale over the next couple of hours to get a stray downpour. Most of this is going to be in Benton County. The farther south you go, the chance of rain gets lower. In the River Valley, Sallisaw, Fort Smith, Ozark, Clarksville, Poto, we could get a stray pop-up, but I think most of the time we're just going to be dry. It's mainly Benton County right now. A lot of the cells are having a hard time continuing to move farther south. For example, look at this cell that we have just west of Taneytown that's on the southern end of the runway in XNA. Notice how over time it moves east and then it kind of follows apart. So we have a much more conducive environment over Benton County to fire up these storms and sustain them. In Fayetteville and most of Washington County, got a little bit higher pressure. And so that's going to be a little bit harder for us to form one. Still is going to be possible. We'll watch. But let us know if you guys have some questions about where you live. Let us know, and then we'll try to talk about what different towns are going to be impacted the next couple of hours. This is mainly Benton County right now. Some very slow moving downpours. But anywhere in Benton County, if you're not getting rain right now, be on the lookout because a downpour could be coming at any moment. Bentonville, we're watching downpours. We've kind of been hit here and there depending on what side of town you live in, especially west side, towards Centerton and Bentonville West. But once you head on I-49, you hop north on the bypass, we've got some serious rain coming down at the Highlands Golf Course. But a wider view right now over Fort Smith, we're looking okay. But I tell you what, for rush hour, it's going to probably be kind of tough as you hop on between Joplin and Rogers with I-49. In fact, we may be able to pull up a camera here in a little bit. I want to show you some of the cameras right now that we have. This is a live look in Springdale. You're looking towards some of the smaller downpours. Let me actually move this camera. We got one up. Okay, here's a look at RDOT. So this, okay, you're just west of Loch Lomond. This is towards the Highlands Golf Course. They're off of Highlands Boulevard. There's that exit there for the golf course. That's where we have some of the heaviest rain, and we've had some pockets of hail, so that's slowing things down. Let's take a look at that camera. This is the Bella Vista interchange there. There are some wet spots on the road. You can see the wind coming through there too. We've had some scattered downpours, but most of it's just past the bypass as you go westbound. This is a little bit farther south. Let's see, this is Slaughter Pen Road. You can see that downpour in the distance, but we're gonna have scattered downpours here for the next hour or so at least in Benton County. And once they get closer to I-49 between Highway 612 and Walton, it's probably going to be tough on traffic. Of course, we've got rush hour coming in here very soon. This is coming up towards 612. You're looking towards the north as folks head on to Elm Springs and towards Cave Springs, towards that Ozark Corn Maze area. And this is Walton. Yep, you're looking, you can see how soaked it is. We got a good downpour that hit us there on Walton where some of the construction is, and that new overpass that's going to be built there. You're looking south towards kind of the heart of Rogers. Good downpours though. Folks are going a little bit slower right now as that rain continues to come down. I want to take a look here towards, let's take a look at Springdale. I'm going to switch the camera here in just a moment. All right, if we could switch to Max 1 really quick, I'll show you that downpour that's in the distance. You're going to see several of these pockets where it gets really hazy, and then you kind of get a little break in between. Notice the break between those towers, a little bit of a dry spot, and then more downpours as you look westbound. This is a live look in Bentonville where the rain, there you see it's coming down. We got some big droplets there just south of the Walmart home office. Would have got a couple questions on tornado threats with these storms. That's a great question. Thank you, Natalie, for that question. With these storms, these are mainly just some gusty winds. There's not a lot of rotation in these storms. There may be some slight rotation the next couple of days, but a lot of these storms are pretty much primarily gusty wind threats. You get some good rain, you get some good lightning, you get a good push of wind. Hail threats are tougher this time of year because it's so hot. So yeah, it's cold upstairs where the hailstorms are forming, but sometimes by the time they reach the ground, they do get a little bit smaller. Overall, this is a wind threat for us. And I tell you what, with some of these storms that we've had the past, week or so, we had them in Paris and Poto, we've had winds that are clocking in towards an EF0 or an EF1 and much bigger than, one of those tornadoes. So we still have some strong winds. So when they say gusty winds, it's still something you got to keep in mind. This might be a week where you go ahead and just bring in the lawn furniture. I know it might be nice, but you may just bring it in because there's going to be scattered downpours the next several days with gusty winds. And a lot of times they're just going to fire up and then move out. And that's when you get a good push of wind and things may be impacted. We're going to take a pause here. We're going to be on 5 News at 5 coming up in a moment. Erica and Joe will have some of Erica Thomas will have some of your latest headlines coming up. We're going to continue to track this storm here in just a couple moments. Once again, severe thunderstorm warning for Benton County, including Bentonville, Gravette, Hiwassee, Decatur, and north into Bella Vista towards the Highlands Golf Course. That's where we're getting the meat of this activity, right there on the bypass, I-49. A good cell now coming into Bentonville, west side, right over Bentonville West High School in Centerton, and headed eastbound right towards downtown Bentonville and Crystal Bridges, and there towards the 8th Street Market and towards the new Walmart headquarters. Rain just now really coming in, and more cells as you go towards the northern fringes of Beaver Lake, just south of Garfield. We have them in around Pea Ridge. Just be on the lookout. More downpours likely this evening, and more downpours like this the next couple of days as finally a cold front moves south and our rain chances go up. Keep it here, keep it local. As always, we'll keep you advised.